Okay, 2.3 is fractional notation. Fractions and fractional notation, however you say that. Fractions and fractional notation. Okay, a little bigger. Okay. If you have, let me first tell you the rules. If you have a fraction where you have a number over itself, that is 1, right? So anything over itself is 1. Okay, anything with 0 over any number, okay? It could be 6, it could be 0 over 18, it could be 0 over 10,000, is what? Is 0. That means 0 out of 6. Like if there were 6 pieces of pizza, you got 0 out of the 6 pieces, okay? Okay, now if you have a number over 0, that means you got 6 out of nothing. Can you get 6 out of nothing? You can't.
It's 6.
It's not even 6. Not 1. This is called not defined or undefined. You cannot do this. You cannot divide by 0. It stays somewhere and there's one that is right there not divided up. It's all still in one piece, or you can divide it in half, you can divide it in thirds, but you can't divide it into 0 parts. So this, you'll put not defined or undefined, okay? So make sure you never, never, never divide by 0. Kind of like never, never, never shake a baby, okay? We'll come and we'll throw you in jail if you start dividing by 0. Okay? And one other rule. Anything that has a 1 on the bottom, anything divided by 1 is itself, that number. Okay? Most of these you probably already knew, but these 2 rules are the most confused. When where the 0 is permissible and where it's not permissible. So make sure you never, never, never divide by 0. Okay, in a fraction, the very top number is your numerator, and the bottom is the denominator. If you kind of forget, you're like, which one's which? Remember, like, how sometimes, remember it says you have to get a common denominator? That's when you have to get the same number on bottom. That's the bottom common denominator. Okay? So if that helps you to remember, then just think common denominator, that means the bottom number. Okay, so in this number right here, what's the numerator?
6.
And the denominator? 1, yeah. Okay, now let's look at things that are divided into parts. If you have a thing divided into 15 parts, and there's 7 of them shaded in, a fraction for this would be, for the shaded parts, is 7 out of 15, 7/15. If you wanted to know the shaded and the unshaded, how many are not shaded? 15, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of them are not shaded out of the total of 15, right? So let's do, what if we have something, that should be a straight line. Okay? If you're feeling a little funny, it looks crooked, maybe you need to get some air. Or maybe I drew it crooked, okay. Okay, let's say we're looking at a ruler. There's a half, those are your fourths. Now, I divided between each one of those, so there should be 8 parts there, shouldn't there? So that was half. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 parts here, 1, 2, 3, 4 parts there, so there's 8 parts. Okay. Where would this be from here to here? How much of it is that right there? There's 1, 2, 3 parts out of 8 parts. That's 3/8, just like reading a ruler. Right here would be 3/8. Okay. What if it says right here, this has how many parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. Okay, let's say we had this much of it. How much is that? Up to here. 5 out of 6 parts. 5/6 of it, right? Okay, let's do something a little harder. You guys are too smart here. That's a good thing. Don't take that as a bad thing. Okay. Let's divide each one of these things up into 4 parts. And we're going to color one of these, and 2 of these, and 2 of these. Okay, we've got 4. Each one is 4. Do not put it as 12 on bottom, okay? Each one of these is a whole, and each one is divided into 4 parts. This one is 1/4 and 2/4 and 2/4. But if you're doing this as a whole all together, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the fourths that are shaded in. This will be the part that most people would make mistakes on, if there was mistakes made, because they would probably put 12 instead of 4. Okay, so if 5/4 is shaded in, that's the same as a whole and a fourth, right? 4/4 and another fourth, because you could put these 2 together and make a whole. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do long lines. Let's make them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in each box. And we'll shade 2 here and 1 here. How many are shaded in?
3. Yes.
Yeah. Even though we could have shaded them all on one, you know, if they're like that, you're still just gonna count how many total. 3/5 is shaded in. Okay. What if they're separate things? Like number 24 has a triangle, a rectangle, a circle. What's that called, a diamond? And a square. Out of those shapes, how many things are shaded?
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5, so that's the same as that, right? 3/5. I think you guys have it. And you got word problems that you're just doing numbers to numbers, like this, what's the ratio of registered nurses to 100,000 residents in a given state? And this has, right here. So registered nurses in Minnesota, you have 1014 to every 1,000 nurses per 1,000. So that would be 1014 to 1,000, 100,000, sorry. Okay, so you're gonna do problems like that. The first one is the number that goes on top. If it says something to something, that was saying nurses to 100,000, that would be 1018 to 100,000. This one is the top. And looking at these problems, do you see anything you have questions on? No? Okay. Call if you have any questions.